Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second part here of Once Upon a Game, where we're playing the really fun game by none other than Luke themselves here. So, Luke, how about you take it away?
Yeah. So, watch. I think our camera watches the wreckers as they scramble down the perilous cliff paths. We get this shot, like a helicopter shot, like a far shot of this great dark, jagged cliff, slick with rain, and this tiny, narrow, treacherous little path. And we see these three shapes slipping their way down it, huddled in close to the rock, the greedy wind snatching at their clothes and their hair. And the camera moves in closer, and we get to see them one by one as they round the corner. So going around in turn, and we're going to start with Eric, because in Zoom, that's the order that I have available to me. Introduce your character, their look, their behavior, their mood on this particular night. Tell us what we see.
I'm glad that you chose me first, because Loena would absolutely be the one who would be out in front of the rest of the group going down these cliffs. Over the storm, I'll have a sort of. I think you probably see, like, is it raining as well as the wind?
Yes,
as windy.
Yeah. It's like a thin sheet of rain that the wind is like catching and snatching and blowing in your faces and your eyes. So you're constantly having to kind of like hold an arm up and like wipe it out of your face to see clearly. All you can see is that down in the bay below, the water is like nearly like up to the cliffs. There's like this narrow little strip of beach, and then just like what will be like, mid-thigh deep water.
Yeah, so we have to go down the cliffs to the beach, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Because, what you can also see, if I may, is a boat.
Yeah.
It's a ship being like driven on faster and faster by waves and
by the
wind
tide.
and storm and the tide. And you know that, like, fairly close to the shore, I think this is quite a circular cove. Mm-hmm. It's like enfolded in the arms of the coastline, and you know that part of that enfolding is like a razor sharp, jagged, awful reef underwater that the ship is just gonna like rip its belly out on and then drive forward onto the shore.
Right. And I think for purposes of the description, I'm going to take a little bit of creative liberty here and say that I'm the only one of the two crew who doesn't have their hood up, because I can see fine in the rain. And I do this as a point of pride with the other two. And so I think what you hear as Loena takes charge is that I confidently say that, I say that the normal path that we would take, I say the fact the normal path we have to take has broken down, but I found another path. Right, and so just be careful and watch me as I'm staying over the storm. Like, watch me where I'm going. The other path won't work. And
so the camera comes in. We see that like the end of this usual like jagged cliffside path has like crumbled away in the rain, and instead there's like this incredibly narrow, slippy like path that goes like down through the kind of plant covered side of the cliff. And so, like, you have to, like, slip down through the mud and the dirt and, like, hold onto, like, a twisted tree for support for a moment. Yeah. How is your mood this night, Loena? Tell us about your emotions.
Oh, I'm part devil may care, part eager to prove, or either eager to, not necessarily prove, eager to demonstrate my superiority in these arts in a way that I haven't had a chance to in quite some time.
Very good. Who's following after? Who's following close after?
Definitely me.
All right, Demelza.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Like, I think the whole time you were walking out in front, Loena, I was like barely a step behind you, like almost trying to overtake you.
Yeah.
But then you just would not let. And I can't like see in the rain, so I'm like, you're still leading just barely by a step. But I think like when we get to where we would normally go down, I haven't been out in these parts for a while, and I like look down the normal path, and I'm just like, look back at you like, you better know what you're doing, because we've always gone down this way, like back when I was here. But yeah, so Demelza is tall and beautiful. and
Yeah.
she looks much younger than you would expect
good.
for being like 35.
Just to build on, I know exactly what I would say in that scene, right? When you look at me like you better
Good.
be sure about that, I'd be like, "Don't worry, sister. Some of us still had to work for a living." As I point you down and go down this way, as just a chance to do that. As I kind of like wink at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Demel's mood is she
Stormy
is
and tempestuous.
Yeah, stormy and tempestuous. Like I think she was actually like in a really good place where she was just kind of like doing pretty well for herself, but now she's been dragged back to the family business and she really doesn't want to be here, but she feels this vestigial loyalty to the family name, and so she's come here anyway. So
Yeah, cool. And then following up behind, holding up the rear, is Sterren.
Yes. Sterren, he is phoning quite a distance behind. He doesn't want to get involved in any of that bullshit. He is keeping a very close eye around them, making sure they aren't followed, making sure the path they're choosing is actually good. But just by looking at the natural path, I'm careful, I'm cautious. I haven't haven't done this in a while. I am used to sneaking around in the dark in the middle of the rain. So I'm used to this sort of stuff. In fact, there's a small thing I probably could see in the rain if I wanted to, and perfectly fine. I just am wearing a hood because why the hell not? It's much better.
Yep. Is Sterren older?
I'm probably the mid-child. I would think like.
Okay, so part of the immediate family.
Yeah, I'm the middle child who, I'll be frank, never exactly got along with this just because I was actually always a bit too careful. They saw my talent for that sort of stuff, so they naturally put that into the uncle category, who was smuggling, where being careful is one of the big things.
Yeah, wrecking is about being fast and bold. Smuggling is about being careful and cautious.
And paranoid. Yeah.
Yeah, paranoid.
Totally.
I'm as you can, if anyone's looking at me, you can tell that I'm slightly paranoid of everything. My eyes are darting quite a few places.
Yeah, totally. So I think, Luena, you come over like a slight like ridge in the climb. You come over the bit of the edge of something, you like lower yourself down to like a slightly lower level of rock below, and standing there you can see down into the cove, like fairly clearly, what's going on. You can see a big ship flying the Union Jack, which is like, like shaking and tattering in the breeze, and like a bunch is being like torn off. And you can hear the cries of like male voices and like orders being barked like across the water. This is like a naval ship. This is a military ship. And you can see her coming in, and then you hear all of those voices turn from like commands and orders and obedience into just like panic as the ship like judders as it's moving through the water. And you know that, like, below the water, it has just been, like, torn to shreds in the belly on this raised reef. And then it continues to push forward. The waves are, like, carrying it down onto the beach.
Like against
it's probably...
Yeah.
And it crashes,
it's like manually going against a saw.
Pretty much. It's a nasty business.
Yeah.
And as it, right, like, in this moment, it is still, like, tearing its way over the reef. It's probably only like a couple more minutes trip down onto the beach, but it's at about this moment, Luena, that like a particularly like mighty gust of wind like catches you and blows you, and you feel yourself like stagger off balance and start to like lean off the path in one direction. What do you do?
Can I say not so fast?
Nope, you can do something about it, and then I'll say not so fast. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I quickly straighten myself out, considering that I have done this path at least at least dozens of times.
right.
I know its tricks in these conditions, and I am well equipped for this.
Not so fast.
Okay.
So, Eric, what do you want if you succeed?
I want to navigate your coastline to be ready for the wreck.
And down onto the beach?
Yes.
I think that's reasonable.
I presume that's where the wreck is coming in, right? Like, I want to be in the best position for when the wreck's coming in.
Yeah, I think
That's down the
described
coast.
I described it as encircling before. I think in hindsight,
This is just
it's-
this is just my ignorance
Yeah.
of how this process happens.
I
and
think,
so yeah.
I think the cove. I think actually what's more likely is I think the cove is quite open, and under the water there is an encircling pair of arms of reef,
Okay.
and so the ship is being like driven in one direction, like over the reef, and will then probably wreck itself on the cove and up against the rocks.
Right. Yeah.
And
So
then
I
you
want
try
to make
and
my way
hit
down
it.
into the cove. Yep. Successfully.
All right. If you fail, you will make your way down into the cove successfully, but you will not be in control of the descent.
Can my task be lead the whole group?
I will allow it, but I'm gonna. Okay, so so this is the negotiation stage, right? So you want it to be lead everyone successfully down onto the beach?
Yeah, not just myself. I want to do this for everybody.
Yep. Let me see.
When a wrecker tries something in defiance of the GM. No,
I mean, pretty
sorry.
much
Sorry to
so.
make it. Is that like if we're not ready for that, I can just do it myself. That's fine with me.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. So I think.
It's just that I feel like this is a good
Okay,
way. The reason why I
so-
want to do this is it's in a good way for me to show and demonstrate my
Yeah. Totally.
skills to my sisters or my
No,
sister.
totally.
my-
It's totally reasonable. Here's what I'm gonna lay on you. If you fail, not only are you gonna take a tumble,
Yeah, but
like
everybody is.
No, I'll let the other two are fine. I'm not interested in them. You're gonna take a tumble, and you're gonna fuck up whichever like arm you land on, and catch yourself on the beach.
That's not as fun. Can you make a softer move? I'm just kidding.
No,
that's fine with
but
me.
Eric,
I'm being
it says
facetious. I'm being
it says
facetious, by the way.
negotiate.
I know.
It says negotiate. If you want to,
Yeah, I don't want to.
That's fine.
No,
you must
I
have
think
ripped.
it would be more fun. I think if I get stuck in a spot where my sisters have to help me.
Oh yeah.
You get
that
stuck in you get stuck in some mud.
Because
or
that's what
some
to me.
no,
That's
no.
what failure
Okay,
is.
okay,
To me,
okay,
I'm trying to show that I'm
here
better
it
than
is.
my family,
Yeah.
and so failure would be obviously my family has to rescue me.
Okay, here it is. You go tumbling down, not in control of your own descent, and the waves get you, and you start being carried out by the waves in the backwash, and
that's
they
way
have
too
to pull
much.
you out of the water.
That's way too much. How about the tree that I use? The root snaps, and I'm like dangling there, and they have to get me back to steady up.
If your task is to get all the way down to the cove, I don't think I think that's too little.
Okay. All right, fine. Then I'm in the
Right,
water.
like if you just wanted to get your footing back on the path, that'd be fine. But I feel like that's too
Oh,
little.
I'm like precariously like hanging over the ledge of the water, right? Like by like this root that
Yeah,
dislodged
all right, yeah.
itself,
I will-
and
I
I
will-
need a hand, right?
I will accept that. I think that sounds fair. Yeah. So, if you succeed, all of you make it down to the beach successfully. If you fail,
I'm gonna desperate spot.
you all wind up. Yeah, you all wind up like lower down, and you are dangling helpless by one hand off the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
Cool.
expect.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
So, gather your dice. You start with one die for bravery and desperation. Your life or sanity is not on the line.
How is my life not on the line?
If your life is on the line, would
Is
be
this-
like
oh, is
you
the stakes
fall
being like
off
I
the
die?
cliff into the
Yeah.
right.
Well, okay. So because the failure is that my life will then be threatened. Okay, so I'm leaving that as a consequence. Then the next action, my life would be threatened.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
got it. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand. Okay.
Yeah. Your
all
life
right,
on the
fair.
line would be like, and then I would be me saying, and then you fall off the cliff into
Yes,
the
yes,
water.
yes. Got it. Right. If
Okay.
it's basically if it is like a Blade's desperate action.
Yeah,
is a way
if
to
it's
think
level
about it.
if level 4 harm is
Right.
at stake, then
Got it.
you get the extra die.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I got one die from
guess you
there.
start with one
Well, look, I'm weatherproof,
Yes.
and I'm tough as nails. So like
Yep. So that's one die.
this little nut. Well, I think it's 2 dice because I'm weatherproof.
I
No,
don't
I'm
think
ignoring the
I'm not
slippage.
going to give you. I'm not going to give you extra. I'm not going to give
Fine.
you like one die for each relevant one. You just get one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I'm fast acting.
Isn't it?
Fine. Then fictionally, I'm fast acting. I'm good with my hands, so I'm able to grab on and not fall. A lesser person would have fell.
So yeah, so +1. Yep. So +1 die. You have a skill or a virtue that helps.
Right.
Is a good. So
fictionally,
involved.
yeah. So like fictionally, this is happening no matter what. It's just that I'm able to swing myself back and like re-navigate everybody down.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that's okay. Just to get an idea of the picture of what's going on right now.
Oh no, I'm fine. Let's go.
So we got one. We got 1 die. Then we got +1 die because you got a skill or a virtue that helps. There's no contacts that are relevant. There's
what? Can you define contact and how my sisters aren't contacts?
or
my brother and sister.
Howl, Marek, Melon, and Treve.
Oh, got it. Okay, the NPCs.
Your sisters are fellow. Your sisters are fellow wreckers.
Okay, understood.
They're a separate category thing.
And then
Does a talisman knack record? I don't think so.
No.
Nothing ghostly is about. So roll 2d6, Eric. You
Right.
get a 4+. You get what you wanted.
5.
All right, nicely done. So, describe to us what that looks like as you lead your sisters successfully, safely down to the beach.
Right. Well, it's not completely safely.
Sister and brother.
And it's sister and brother, yeah. And so obviously I grab onto one of the old roots from one of the vines or the trees that have sort of like grown on the side of it, and it's not as secure as it used to be. I feel it as I put my weight on it as I try to like move and navigate to the next part of the sort of switchbacky style cliff face down. The rocks kind of give way, and I'm forced to put a lot more weight on this precarious branch, or this precarious root, and the root like dislodges itself partially, and then I'm just kind of like dangling there for a second. Gasps go out, and I'm like, no, I'm fine, I got this, and I kind of swing myself back to solid footing. Like I get my feet on there, and then like I'm able to get a sure grip on the face, the rock face, and I'm able to like kind of push myself over in a pretty amazing display of strength and acrobatics and athletics. And I say,
I think
see, that would have been bad. And I look at you, so it's okay. I know a different way, and I lead them down a much more difficult way. But I'm paying extra attention, and rather than trying to like do this without a lot of the tools, I'm going to make sure that we have like the rope where we need, the pythons are in the rocks where we need it, that kind of stuff, right? No longer. So like while I succeed, I'm no longer as reckless after that danger because I felt that.
Lowena's secret knack. I know a different path. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I think like when you fall off, like Demelza like goes to like reach for you to like help you, but when you just like swing yourself back up and come, she tries to look as if she was not doing that whatsoever. She's just like looking off somewhere else, like I wasn't worried about you. No, it's fine.
In case you're wondering with me, as soon as I saw that, I could tell she was about to walk just by the way she was acting, and as soon as she started falling off, I legitimately started bolting towards her to try and catch her before she fell.
Yes.
Hey, it's a case of family relationships.
Yeah, no, I say
the good brother.
And in fact, I'm going to. Oh, I actually would like that. I'd be like, thanks, brother. Right, as a way of like, it's really just between us, and right, this sort of perceived rivalry doesn't exist between us from the brothers. Yeah, that's good. Love it.
I nodded that and go, and I just simply nod and just head and slowly start turning back, looking around again, like keeping a close eye out for anything unusual.
So following this new, more difficult path over the slippery shale and slate, past, I think there's like a patch of like gorse or some similarly like thorny and like hardy, tenacious plant just like clinging to the rocks that you have to kind of like navigate over without like spiking yourselves all over your hands. And you make it down onto the beach.
I just use my sword.
Yeah. It's like, it's very small. The water has risen significantly. You've got like maybe like 5 meters of like sand between the rocks of the cliff behind you and like the like furthest edge of the water, and then as the waves come in, they like wash up past that, up until they're like lapping at the toes of your boots. And you can see the ship come shuddering. It rips clean of the rock of the reef, and it then like slowly moves onwards on like a swell of water, but as it is moving, it is like filling up with water as beneath and sinking until it just kind of like settles in the bay out in the water in front of you. It's like maybe 10 meters out. You could like, I mean, you guys, it's been a while since you worked this cove, except for you, Luena. Like, if you followed the right like sections of the sand of the beach, you could probably get over there without like walking on sand and then get up onto the boat. But if you put a foot wrong, you're going to be down into a deeper section. You're going to be underwater. And on the ship, you can see, like that shuddering like halt has like thrown a bunch of the sailors who were up on deck, kind of like frantically struggling with the sails, like have been just thrown overboard into the water, and are now like bobbing there, like barely managing to keep their heads over, like crying out to each other for help. And I think you can then also hear from like the belly of the ship, you can hear the sound of some kind of effort being made to do something. But it's kind of indistinguishable over this, like, just this howling wind and gale that's, like, tearing the sails now to shreds and, like, ripping at the rigging. And the boat, like, shifts slightly, even though it's settled into the sand, as the mast is just, like, pulled at by the wind.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
To give us some context, what's in danger? The mast breaking?
I mean, right now, like, so the purpose of your, like, what your job is Wreckers, right?
Yeah.
Is you go to Rex, and what you are trying to recover is normally either, depending on your needs at any given moment, cargo you need, food, water, sailcloth, cargo you can sell, or timber that, like, you can cut, like, hack off it and, like, carry back home to build with. And so right now, like, all I'm describing is what lies between you and the ship. Like,
Okay.
you tell me, what do you do?
And it doesn't look like the ship's going to get any closer.
No, it looks like it has, like, come to a halt. It's taken on too much water. It's sunk down, and now, like, the broken remnants of the ribs of it are, like, sunk into the sand at the bottom of the cove.
I actually am going to suggest something to my sisters. Most likely, there's a cart on the side of the ship, which, if it's a big enough gash, they could just enter the hold instead of trying to climb over up there. Just try and enter the hole that caused the ship to sink. Yes, we will speed below at the same time. We most likely would be in like the cargo hold or something.
Yeah, but this water is cold and dark.
This water is indeed cold and dark, and there is wind and there is rain. Welcome to Cornwall.
I looked at the both of them and just go, I'm pretty sure you have dealt with situations like this before. In fact, I even had a situation like this when I was younger when I used to do this before I was sent off with Uncle. I'm pretty sure we could do this if we are careful enough.
I think I just like, just kind of like turn around, look at the family, and I'm like, well, that's it then. We're off. We're Rinsies, and we're gonna wreck. And I just like trudge off. Like, let's go, everybody. Like, nothing to fear here.
So just like into the water, right?
Yeah,
and so like
trudging in.
Like at first, like there's appreciable waves, right? As they like rock in, and then suddenly you're in up to your knees, and they pull back out, and then they rock in, and then the next time it's up to mid thigh, and then it rocks back, and then it's up to waist, and then at that point you're like in the water, and you don't really notice the movement of the waves anymore because you're just kind of in the water.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can feel like under your feet, the sand, like still there. And then I think this is about the point at which you can no longer see under the water, like through the water to the sand, and you're moving just on memory. And so I'm going to say, not so fast. Not so fast. So, what do you want if you succeed?
I want to, completely by accident, make my way to the ship.
That sounds
without drowning.
Fair. Yep, that sounds reasonable. If you fail, I think you put a foot wrong and you step into like a little depression in the beach and you go underwater.
All right, I'm down.
Nothing, just that. Like nothing more than that at this point.
Gotcha.
Cool. So, we're both happy with that. So, gather your dice. You start with +1 die for bravery and desperation. Your life or sanity is not on the line. Do you have relevant skill or virtue?
Born lucky. I'm just gonna accidentally make it.
Take +1 die. Is a good contact involved? Nope. Is a bad contact? Nope. Do you have a talisman, knack, or a cord that would help?
Don't think so.
I mean, I think there's a case for it. It sounded like you were saying like youth and beauty from the mermaids, and like in youth, I what I took as being implicit in that was like strength and speed, right?
Okay,
like
that
physical
makes sense.
stuff, shit. If that makes sense to people.
Yep, that makes.
So then it's +1, plus another die. There is nothing ghostly about in this water, or rather in the fact that you're trying to walk over a beach. So
there may be something ghostly in the water. Who knows?
There may or may not be something ghostly in the water. So roll 3d6, please.
Gotcha.
Good odds. Yes.
Yep.
Fine.
Very good odds. Yeah. So yeah, you like by like blind sheer luck, you like make your way over. I think there's like one moment where like you place your foot like right on the lip of like a drop off, and you feel like the sand start to shift under, but you manage to like pull it back in. And then you find yourself like standing still. I think you're only kind of like mid chest height in the water, like feeling the current like tugging and pulling at you as the waves go in and out, but like with your balance right up against the side of the ship.
Yeah, and I like look back at everybody else and I say, see, it isn't that hard.
Yeah, Lowena and Sterren back on the shore. What's up?
I mean, not to be bested, I have to follow suit.
For me, what legitimately I would have done is legitimately walk on the sand as far along as I can with it, and just with care and just start thinking about it and get to as close to the shape from the beach as possible, and then from that point just walk.
And then go from there? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like, right now we're at a fair distance. Why walk straight there? You could just walk on and you put yourself in danger. Just walk on the beach for a bit.
Yeah, no, that's legit. That's legit.
Like, it might take a little bit more time, but I'm sure the risk is worth.
So,
right, cool.
And so I still would have to risk eventually, but the space will be far smaller.
In classic Lowena,
oh god,
mutters under her breath. Of course, Demelza gets to do what she wants, and I get stuck on babysitting duty. Right. And so no,
I'm so done with this character.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you, Sterren, to get the ship. Like, come on, Sterren. Yeah. I know you can do this. Here. Let me show you.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's, even though they don't need the help, it's just like,
Yeah, but you're being hesitant about it, and this is not something to be hesitant about.
Yeah, I guess.
Not so fast. So, what do the two of you want? I think I've just invented the rules for group actions, which is it's exactly the same, but both of your lists are in play. Full stop. End of group action rules.
All right, here's my question. I have to actually real quick. Mortem, are you willing to go along with me and me lead you to the ship?
If you're going straight there, like it's straight through, no, I'll be walking to the beach. It's safe and takes basically no extra time.
Well, I think it would be important for me to convince you to do this. So maybe, how do we resolve this, Luke? How about Mortem? Is there something I can do to get your character to come along now?
If you are insistent, I will.
Yeah.
So, I will. What? It's just a case of
then I caution you about the time, and that the time is now. Look, the weather's gonna get worse. We need to get moving now, right?
Okay, I just follow you along.
Yeah, this isn't one of your jobs. This is
Yep.
Yeah.
This is wrecking.
All right, cool. So Lowena, it sounds like you're in the lead.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead the way. I want to make it to the wreck successfully with my brother in tow.
Cool. Yeah. Let me. If you fail, who's gonna go in the water?
If it's possible, we could possibly just do two separate things, because I think I want something slightly different than what.
All right, no, that's fair. All right, yeah. So Lowena, if you fail, as it was for Demelza, you're gonna step wrong and you're gonna go underwater.
Yeah. For me,
drop down into a little drop off, and.
Yeah, it sounds fair.
For me, I sort of want to prove in a way and just and sort of want to prove that I can do this by myself for one, and two, prove that you realize, and just like going just by the matter of time and everything. You mentioned time. It would have been faster to take the beach. That's and just like make her realize that. Wait a minute. He's sometimes being careful. Not so much make her realize, but just show by taking the beach we actually would have been faster because we wouldn't have to be trudging through this waterfall storm.
Yeah. All right. So let's resolve Luana first, and then we'll do Steren.
If I succeed, I also want something bad to happen to the beach that you wanted to use, and it's a reason why we don't use that beach.
Oh shit. Okay, so let's just give me a moment.
Like that part of the beach.
Let me clarify.
Yeah, because
is Steren taking his route, or is he going with Luana? Because
going
right
with
now it sounds like
yeah, going with me.
Okay.
Going with Lena is just like a case of like I just use pure nada. Like you just by looking at her the distance and everything, she should have realized with me mentioning it that it would have been short. It would have been quicker just to take the beach.
So
all right, cool.
Part of my success conditions that I want out of this is also to be proven right and that my brother is proven wrong.
So what happens if we both succeed? What happens if we both succeed?
All right, I can give you the beach going under Eric, but like the MC is not in charge of your brother. I am not in charge of whether he is proved wrong or not. I am
okay,
in
fine.
charge of
I can't convince you.
I'm in charge of the fact of what happens to the beach.
Yeah.
If you want the beach to get a wash of water, that we can do.
I want some part of the cliff to like rocks to fall down around that beach and show that it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's
part of my
legit.
success. Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry.
so gather your dice.
Sorry, I'm a little antagonistic. It's just it's a little fun. I'm having a good time.
Fine.
So gather your dice. You get +1. You start with 1. Your life or sanity is not on the line. Do you have a skill or a virtue that helps?
Let's see. Well, I'm tough as nails. I'm willing to withstand the frigid cold water and tide and do what needs to be done.
I think it's not so much a question of whether you can withstand the tide as it is a question of whether you can figure out where to put your feet. So I don't know that actually helps.
Okay.
I think like experienced wrecker would help. I think like sharp-eyed would help.
Okay.
I think
skilled swimmer.
Would
Skilled swimmer would make more sense. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's fine.
Yeah, so I don't think you've got one that helps. I don't think there's a skill or virtue that would be like necessary, so I'm not going to hit you with the -1.
Right. But I got sturdy shoes though.
You do have those sturdy shoes.
Boots that grip.
Boots that grip. Grip boots.
So
cool. All right, yeah, I'll give you
2?
+1 for your grip boots. So 2 dice.
You have cleats?
5. Thank you.
Yeah, nice.
Thank God, dice. Oh man.
All right, so Steren, yeah, you're like you like set out and like behind you you see there's like a loud gust of wind and like a sheet of slate just like peels off the cliff and like falls right down on the beach where you wanted to go with like a loud like crashing noise.
Yep.
Steren, not so fast. What would you like on your way out to the boat?
I mostly wanted to prove that for one, it would still be quick, still would have been quicker, and even with that thing, I'm still convinced it would have been safer and I want that to sort of prove that to her, to go, sometimes being careful and cautious and thinking things is better even in this business. So
I don't see how that would be possible.
True.
Right? Like if the action is getting out to the boat, I fail to see how in that context it is possible to prove that it would have been faster to do it another way, because there is no thing to compare.
In that case, I would like to prove to her that you realize I can do this easy as well, and in fact, I probably can do it.
Adults.
Yeah, and I probably can do it slightly faster than you.
We aren't children anymore.
That is entirely possible. All right, so you want to make it to the ship.
Yeah,
and
that's open to me.
You want to beat Luena there. That is in my control. I will allow that. And I think your risk is the same. I think you're going to go underwater if you talk up.
Much drowning.
Is underwater life on their line or not? I didn't ask that. It wasn't
no,
for me.
because it just means that you're underwater. It doesn't mean Like
Drowning.
drowning would be life on the line. Underwater
Okay.
just means like it's just that
Yeah.
sensation, Eric, when you're on the beach and you step off and you think there's sand and you step off the drop and then all of a sudden you're, like,
Stop!
plummeting,
Enough!
and you're like, oh,
No more!
Yeah.
I get
sorry,
it. I know.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing for you?
It's not a super thing, but yeah, it's a thing. That's
Okay.
I know that lurch. No,
Yeah.
I know that lurch very well, right? That,
Okay,
that
thank
oh
you for
oh, this is
letting
the
us know.
deep end. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's gonna happen if you fail,
Yeah.
and then you're
Yeah,
just like,
I
oh,
know.
Yeah.
Got it.
and
Yeah.
So gather your dice, Morton. One die.
I think cautious and careful could possibly help here, just because it's like the thing that stops it is I need to be fast because that was part of my
That was what I was about to say. Yeah, I think if you weren't trying to beat your sister there, I would absolutely give it to you. But if you're trying to be fast, I don't know if you can also be cautious and
Yeah,
careful.
sounds like you're going straight against that.
To me, the biggest thing that does it is that's a skill I have. I'm good at being careful and cautious. That means I can still do it by being somewhat fast. Maybe not that.
I'll allow it. I will be a generous
sense.
MC.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Would a skill of virtue clearly be necessary?
Nah.
Good contact, no. Talisman, knack, or accord. It doesn't look like. Nope.
I got sequence,
yep,
which okay. So how do I do this? 2d6.
So it's just 2d6, and you're looking for fours or better.
Oh, how do I do it?
So forward slash
forward slash
roll space
roll space 2d6.
2d6 larger than 4.
Success.
All right, nice. Cool. All right. So you managed to beat Loenna to the ship, and I think we have a shot of all of you like there gathered around one side of this great ship. It it comes up out of the water like a wall of like water-stained wood in front of you. The waves are like beating and smashing against it. You can hear now clearly from inside the captain like crying out, get those goods out of the water, men! Get that salt pork out of there, it'll spoil! And they're all working away inside. And yeah, I think you see the ship ahead of you. No obvious way in. If you wanted to go through the hole, the hole in the side, you'd have to swim down underwater and to get into it. If you wanted to go over the side, you need to grab onto a rope or a piece of wood or something. I think you can also hear now, as you've been spotted, a cry for help. I think bobbing in the water, like maybe 3 meters, 4 meters away from you, is a sailor. He's like up to his neck. He could you can't see his red uniform anymore. He's like young, like maybe 17, like the age of your youngest sibling.
Yeah.
And just pale and afraid. He's not old enough to grow a mustache yet. Yeah, like he just a boy, and he's drowning. Like he is this close to going underwater and starting to go.
Yeah, screaming for God's sakes, help me. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What do you do?
I go over as if to save them.
Oh shit! Right, so you're like swimming. You're like stepping out across the sand and like trying to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll give it to you. Yeah, I think you're able to find like a safe path out over the water. Until you're I think you're now standing like just past arm's reach from him. He's like maybe a little bit more than half a meter away, and like you're on the edge of the sand, and he's out past the drop-off point and like bobbing and swaying ever so slightly in the current.
And yeah, I just take the plunge and try to swim him back.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Not so fast.
Yep.
What do you want?
I would like to get him to
Relative
water
safety.
in which he will not drown.
Relative safety.
Yeah, to relative safety.
So
right?
get him back onto the sandbar.
Help him
onto
to
the
not
sand with you.
Keep drowning.
Yeah. Okay. What happens if you lose?
His fate drags you down, and you start to.
Yeah.
drown,
Right.
maybe?
Yeah. Modern's got it.
He's
Exactly what I was
struggles.
thinking.
Are there?
Yeah. Like like he grabs desperately onto you,
Yeah.
and with your combined
Yeah.
weight drags you underwater.
your
Well,
paws off me!
that's what a drowning person would do. So that makes perfect
exactly,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
That's that desperate thing. All right, so Demelza, let's do this shit.
Let's do it.
+1 die for bravery and desperation.
Question.
Your life or sanity? Yes, Eric.
Sorry. Are flashbacks an
absolutely.
option? Like,
No.
How can we get in? How do we have these contacts? How do we use these contacts? Can we justify
So
something?
remember, Eric.
Yeah.
Play until your plunder is safely hidden away or sold on, and you are safely inside out of the storm.
So that's
Getting shit
got it.
Yeah.
off the wreck is just like part 1, right? Like,
got it. Got it.
The back half of the job is where they become relevant. Though, like,
Right,
you
okay.
never know. Treve might show up to fuck with you at any moment. Mortem,
That's
the
true.
pistol is as loud as a pistol.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
have a
pistol.
plan to get onto the ship.
Do you have a pistol? I thought you had a gun.
No, someone else does.
Oh, yeah. Demelza's got a pistol. I had forgotten.
It's probably soaking wet. now.
That is possible. I think you're probably smart enough to keep it like coated in wax or something
Yeah.
that you can then like break off.
Yeah, like, this is
All
part of the
right.
job.
So Demelza, 1 die for bravery and desperation. Your life or sanity is not on the line.
Yet.
Do you have a skill or virtue that helps you?
Well, I mean, there's an argument to be made for born lucky on basically anything, but
But this is not one of those situations.
I'm not
I think.
sure.
Yeah,
it
this
really
is not.
applies
You're not
here.
relying on luck here. I
Right,
don't think
yeah.
so. So you're at +1. You're at 1 die. A skill, or I think there is a skill or virtue that clearly would be necessary, and you lack it, and that's skilled swimmer.
It's good swimmer. Yeah.
So you are down to 0 die.
yeah.
There is no good or bad contact involved. Do you have a talisman, knack, or a cord that helps?
Well, if youth counts as extra, strength, then I do have the innate strength to at least be somewhat good at swimming.
I will allow
And
it.
to, like,
Oh,
tread
man.
the way, right?
God
One
damn
die.
it.
Cord is powerful.
God damn
One
it.
die.
God
One
damn
die.
it. Okay. All right. When this,
Give us
I
your
hope.
best
Okay,
shot.
I kind of hope this fails because I want to go to save you. Because success would be saving my sister. Failure would be saving the sailor.
No, no.
Oh yes. Yeah, and I know
I
exactly
already
what
see
failure
it.
looks
Like,
like.
I already- yeah,
So,
like, I already know it.
Give us that roll, Caleb. Give us that
All
roll.
right. One die.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you swim out to him, and you feel 2 things as you reach him, and you realize 2 things immediately. One, you feel him grab onto you, like he's scrabbling and he's grabbing at you, and he's just like dead weight on around your neck. And the other
Get
thing
your
you
paws
realize
off me! Stop! I'm trying to save you.
is you've gone far enough out around the ship that you're now getting the full brunt of the current.
Oh.
And by God, there is a strong current out at sea tonight. Like you are all of a sudden, I think a wave, you're struggling with him, you're trying to stay afloat. A wave comes in and hits the 2 of you and knocks you a little out of the shelter of the boat, and then you're being dragged back, out to sea. And as you go under the water, you see underneath you this pale, beautiful, naked form.
Yeah.
This young man who just turns in the water and smiles at you in just these shark razor teeth and these glowing pale green eyes, and just smiles up at you pleasantly as he tilts in the water and starts to come up towards you. So the two of you who were standing by the edge of the ship. Yeah, you've just seen Demelza go under. Drag, starting to get dragged out and go under. What do you do?
I throw my rope, one end of my rope to my brother, and I say, "Whatever you do, do not let go of this, and pull back when you're ready." As I dive underwater to rescue my sister.
Alright, cool. I think
And my success. Sorry.
So order of resolution. I think we're going to resolve the rope first, and then we'll see what happens to the person on the end of it. Because your stakes, Eric, your stakes are going to look very different if he can't get that rope secure.
Okay.
Okay. In terms of how I'm doing this, I'm tying it around the hilt of my sword and plunging it into the side of the ship.
And just wedging it in as deep as you possibly can?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
awesome.
and I was holding
Awesome.
it onto it. It's the sword is quite sturdy.
Yeah,
it's
totally. All right, so
and wedging in wood is far better than holding it by hand.
So
what does a win look like for you, Mortem?
I would imagine a win would look like me wedging it firmly in and basically going.
And it holds, right?
It holds well. This is No matter what,
Yep.
this I can, and as well as I probably can feel the tension on the rope and tell if it's about to break or something.
Yeah, totally. I think a failure looks like it is in too well, and you're not going to be able to get the sword back out.
Agreed.
Considering that like these are naval soldiers and all of them carry swords. Oh,
Yeah.
that could be it. But you don't want to fight a guy with the sword with just your little like hatchet for chopping bits of wood off the ship.
Okay.
That would not be a good time. All right, Mortem, let's do it. So, you start with one die.
Familiar with ships, maybe like I can.
Yes,
I know.
I will give you that.
Because it's like I know how to do this. Like I'm familiar with ships.
Yeah, totally.
I
I
got
will
it.
give you that.
Yeah. So, and
I don't think there's not a specific skill that would be necessary.
yeah.
Plus one die of talisman Nacrocord helps. I don't think so.
Sword wedge.
Anything I can think of, it's like there's a secret compartment or something on the side of the ship.
Nah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing ghostly about. So it's just 2d6. Give us that roll. Let's see what happens.
So yeah, just give me a second.
No worries.
No.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
God.
think.
It holds, but
Yeah.
We're just all
I'm
gonna drown.
Sorry. So this is on me. I failed to sufficiently make clear the stakes on my end. It sounds like you all may have taken it as implicit. Like the sword holds, the rope doesn't. Was I did not realize this. Was what I meant, but I didn't say
I did not realize. Yeah.
It is up to you whether we want to let it ride as intended or let me have like take backsies. I am fine with that.
Take
It's your
backsies,
call.
I guess. Yeah.
Eric,
take backsies,
it's
I
your
guess.
character who's going to be like most directly fucked over.
Let
by
it
this.
ride.
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
All right.
I don't have the rope.
All right.
But it's okay. I'm tough as fucking nails, and Luke, I'm going to rescue both of them.
Okay. Yeah. So let's just Sterren, you successfully manage. You wedge the sword in the side of the ship. It goes in real deep. It bites real good. You got a good feeling about this. You got the rope tied around it. Everything's gonna be a-okay. Cut to Loenna in the water. Loenna, you want to save both of them?
Yeah, easily.
So just so that you have full information, I think as you like swim out and go underwater, you see this mermaid or merboy. You see this like pale, naked, like pale, right? Like the white of a fish's belly and kind of like iridescent in the way that fish scales are is the color of his skin.
Yeah, but the thing is that I'm saving my sister and some rando sailor, and so I don't have time for
Okay.
this. I don't have time to deal with naked fish boy.
Okay. So
that's-
Disrespecting
My
the spirit.
sister is dying.
Not a good idea.
So if you succeed, Eric, you want to save your sister and the sailor boy?
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore this thing and save them, right?
All right,
It's not like attacking them or anything like that. It's just there, right?
If you lose, he is going. I think you are like seized by his like siren charms, and like he gets inside your head, and you just get completely distracted by him, and you're like vulnerable to whatever he's trying to do.
Can the consequence be it turns the sailor on me?
No.
I don't want to do
think
your
all-
job, but this is your job.
Like all the sailor wants right now.
That's not
is
what
to live.
negotiating
like,
is.
Like this
what it is, Luke.
this siren like wants you, right? Like
Yeah. Okay, it wants me.
it wants you. It wants your breath. It wants to steal your breath away. So I think what failure looks like, Eric, is I think failure looks like it gets you in its grasp. And we stop there. And then from there is a separate thing to be like from there you can try and deal with that situation.
All right, fine. But that's cool. It's okay because failure's not going to happen. You know what my success is. So
Okay.
I'm good with this.
Okay. So gather
look,
your
if I'm
dice.
my confidence will be it's going into this microphone, going through a USB cable to the computer to roll 20, and it's going to translate into good dice rolls. What happens?
Okay. I believe you, Eric. All right, cool. So gather your dice. You start with 1.
Yes.
Uh
I'm tough as nails. I'm literally dragging 2 people out from
you're
underwater.
tough. You're tough as nails.
Or you could argue go with your hands. I could
Yeah,
get a good grip on both
either
of them.
of those is
Right.
legitimate. I am gonna take one off because you don't have skilled swimmer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you have a knack talisman or a cord that would help?
No.
Predators of the sea.
Yeah, you can scare away the merboy.
I forgot. I could totally use that. I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna give you +1 for that, and you're not gonna take the -1 for the spoopy boy.
Yeah, I'll rebuke it.
Yep.
With
cool.
the
All
pearl.
right. You're at 2d6, Eric. Good luck. You've got this. We believe in
Luck
you.
is for the weak. Or
Amen.
save
absolutely.
save my sister.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think, you're like swimming down and like the merboy is like mirroring your movement underwater, just like looking up at you with these like glowing eyes.
Oh yeah.
And then like in the underwater, like the pearl like necklace or whatever it's called on, like floats out from like under your clothes, and the light from his eyes like reflects back down onto him, and he just like hisses and like skitters away into the water
shadows.
and like retreats because he really is not into it. And you grab your sister and this boy and you like drag them, and like it's a mighty thing, right? Like the current is like savage and strong and deep and tugging, but you battle the greedy waters and you wrest your sister and this boy from them to stand panting again up on the sand by where this ship has grounded itself.
Yeah. By the way, as soon as I see them, they are out and everything, I'm trying to tug out my sword.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you're trying to like, and it's not working.
Yeah, I take out my picks and start digging into the wood, trying to get it out. Trying to dig out the wood.
No luck. So here you all are on stable ground, relatively in the lee of the boat and sheltered from the worst of the current. There's a wooden side of a ship standing between you and the cargo inside. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this ship boy has some valuables. I don't know.
I turn to the sailor, by the way, and I turn to them and go, "Why don't we rescue him for 1, and 2, can you keep your mouth shut?"
Wait, you're gonna be rude to the sailor guy who just died, or almost died?
Pretty much.
He just blanches. You're all like dangerous, glowering Cornish people, and he's like just nearly died. He saw a mermaid. Today has been a lot, and he is not dealing with it very well. And he just goes pale and like nods.
Yeah, first I look at Luena and I stare at you for like a long moment, and then I say, "Thanks," and then I look back at the drowning boy, and I just like lean, like kneel down in the sand next to him, and I just say,
remember, right? Like Yola still. It's my understanding anyway. Yola still like up near the ship, so like the water is still up to like here.
Gotcha.
There's no kneeling
so I just like look at him. I just like grab my shoulder to look at him, and I'm like, listen, pay my brother no mind. We're just here to, we're here to loot your ship, but we're not going to hurt you.
He nods. He's like a little bit starry-eyed. He's like maybe got a little bit of a crush on Luena.
Like eyes up here.
Oh. Yeah.
On Luena, on this like strong, fearsome, like Cornish, like seafaring lady who's just like saved him from drowning. Yeah. And so his eyes are just kind of on Luena as he speaks to you, and he's like, "I'm Michael. I'll be quiet. I'll be good."
Good.
Okay.
Good.
So
now,
what do you all
Michael.
do?
Yeah, like now, Michael. Now, can you tell us how to get on your ship without anyone noticing us? And can you tell us where the valuables are?
He starts making like Austin Walker confused and unsure noises. He like on the one hand, he's kind of got a bit of a weird crush on your sister, and you guys did save him. But on the other hand, like he did swear an oath to Her Majesty's Royal Navy, and he does have a commander still alive. So not so fast. I think we're gonna have to roll for that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want if you win?
I want him to tell us what we want to know.
Yep.
And leave us alone. Like just
and just fuck off.
Like just go away, right? Like you're fine. Just go off to the shore and live, but stay out of our way.
Okay. If you fail, he is going to call out to his surviving shipmates for help.
Of course, yeah.
And be like, wreckers! They're trying to rob the ship.
And then I will probably pull out my pistol, but
that sounds like a thing that could very well happen.
Yeah.
I'll be desperately trying to take out my sword still.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people still on this ship?
There's not a lot, right? Like, I think it had a crew. It had a crew to begin with of maybe, like, let's say 30. It's not like a huge ship. It would have 30. It would have had 30 to start. I think like a good 10 or so were either like killed or knocked unconscious when it made that first collision with the reef. Like they were down in the hold and they just like cracked their heads on walls, or like the rocks got them.
I have a question for you, Luke. This is actually really important. Yep. What's the punishment for being arrested for shipwrecking?
So shipwrecking is not. It's not technically speaking illegal. Technically speaking.
Okay.
After a ship is a wreck,
yeah.
After a ship is a wreck, it is property under common law. It is property of the common people. That said, this is a naval ship.
Yeah.
So common law might not apply, and also there are people on this ship with swords and guns.
Right.
So the law is not necessarily your biggest worry in terms of reprisals.
Well, what do we... Okay, and we're on the ship because what do we need again? One more time, family. What do we need?
I mean,
right
money,
now we just...
Right?
Money. So we're just looking for goods.
Yeah, something
we're looking for goods to sell.
Now, there's no money in just being a hero here and saving the crew, right? There's no money in that, right?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
Given how the world works.
Like, very maybe. Very maybe.
There are two possible things.
We could steal that lighthouse back, though. What a good word.
That is actually a fair point. We might be able to...
That doesn't put food in our bellies, though.
There are two potential ways they could give us money. One of them is actually such a thing as ransom money for a Royal Navy soldier.
We're not, what? No, that's illegal.
That's stupid. I'm just saying
Turns out the loot that we're getting tonight is prison.
People.
Yeah.
That's a valid way to play this game.
Fair.
Valid way to play.
And the second thing is free, I guess. One other one is selling them the savory stuff, which is hard to do, but is feasible. And last by no means least, a lot of families, if news got out of a ship being wrecked, would sell a word for reward if they find their bodies or living relatives, and they will often give you a reward. So there's a free feasible way.
It's grim, but it's true. Also, it is. Like, they will have cargo, right? Like, it's a Royal Navy ship, it will have supplies. Those supplies will be saleable. Also, it is possible that any one of these sailors may well be carrying on them goods that might have some value in and of themselves.
Steal from the officers.
For example, this cute boy might have some valuables. Who knows?
That's true.
Anything's possible.
That's
true. What you want from him is just full information, and then he fucks off and leaves you all alone. Yep, what I want is that he calls for help and he raises the alarm about your presence. So, start with 1 die. Your life or sanity is not directly on the line. Do you have a skill or virtue that helps?
I am well liked.
Yes, you are.
I have an air of personality about me.
Personality. Yep, take +1. I don't think there's a skill or virtue that would be like... I mean, you have the one that would be necessary.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So you're all good. Is a good contact involved? No. Is an ill contact involved? I don't think so. Talisman, knack, or accord?
Beauty.
She is beautiful, so you could.
Yeah, I have.
And you got like weird mermaid glamour. Yeah. That's true. Though, like, I'm gonna put it out there. Your glamour is not as strong as it normally is. I don't know why.
True.
You just feel you feel like it's not like that. But I'll give you the +1 die. I'm just warning you.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you.
No, that's the
you
thing.
need to do your end of the deal soon.
I'll have to figure out who to do. I was gonna do it on this guy, but he lived, so.
Yep. All right, so that's 3 dice.
Gotcha. Boom.
Oh, very nice.
Are there crits?
Nope.
Okay.
Also, it's not 2 6s, so it wouldn't be a crit by blade.
I know. I'm just maybe think of that. Okay. Sorry.
I mean, like this is very much like a micro RPG. Like, I'm not trying to replicate
don't worry about
blades
it.
and all of its
Right.
weight of rules. Yeah. So I think like he like You talk to him, and his eyes swing from Lowena back over to you, and he like blushes.
He notices how beautiful I am.
Yeah, he blushes, and in the moment, it's not that he's got a crush. He's just like, oh, it's a very pretty lady. Yep. Oh god. Oh, I don't know how to deal with this.
Why are all these pretty lady rating posts?
Yeah, I'm 17. I'm very awkward. I've probably got a bit of acne. Oh god, pretty lady, stop looking at me. He's very nervous. But he tells
probably
you
malnourished on a boat.
Exactly right. I think he tells you like what supplies there are on board, which is like I think there's like a good amount of salt pork. There's like a bunch of like oats or something. There's clean fresh water.
Is this shit coming back from the Caribbean?
No, it is not. No, it is not, Eric. That would have been a different result on the what is in the cargo bay roll. I'm sorry.
Luxuries.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah.
So this is just bare bones.
I think he does also mention that the captain of the ship, I think, though he is a common man, is engaged in like some kind of scandalous relationship with a lady of means.
Wait, they tell us that?
Yeah. I mean, it's ship gossip. Everyone knows.
Yeah, but like that's
probably
the
just
thing.
Like right, he's wagging his tongue.
Let me
he's telling
finish.
us a bunch of stuff.
He's just telling you a bunch of shit, but let me finish. And then he tells you about the necklace that the Lady of Means gave to the captain.
Blackmail.
And that shit, if it's made from gold, or he has no eye for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Question.
Gold necklace on board.
Does he know where it's hidden?
He just makes a bunch of noises. He doesn't know. He's not that close with the captain. He's like a cabin boy.
Okay. I do my shoulders and go, this is right, Colin.
Yeah, and then he tells you where, and then he tells you about the ways in, and I think there's like two. I'm trying to think what they're called. There's two little trapdoory things, whatever the fuck those are called. Little trapdoory things you have in a ship. Mm-hmm. Two of those things on like either end of the ship, like in the mast in the middle. So there's two of those, and then also he just like points down like under the water, and he's like it's like I saw down in the hold before I came up on deck and I fell, and it's all gone. The bottom is all it's gone.
Nice.
What do you do?
At this, I turn to them and go, I personally think going through the hold is the best means. It is, for one, quite close. If the whole bottom's gone, we're not looking for a small hole, we're looking for this huge gaping hole. We just have to find it and just shoot right up to find some air.
I would like to remind you, dear brother, that none of us are very accomplished swimmers. I'm not sure that's the best course of action.
True, but at the same time, it would get us in my opinion, the most unnoticed and the closest to the cargo hold where the things are being stored.
Lowena?
And so you're like shouting this conversation, right? Because like the wind just like snatching your words out of your mouths.
I actually imagine we're doing just few signals.
Yeah, probably.
And so the ship boy, like as you're having this conversation, he really doesn't want to listen to this because he doesn't want to be part of guilty like conspiracy. Yeah. And so he just he turns to go and he turns back. And he turns to go again, and he turns back. He turns to go, he takes a step, he turns back, he's like blushing like a bright crimson red. Right. He really quickly presses a kiss to Lowena's cheek.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Eric?
Hey, and this is perfect because I know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to be like, whoa, now, hold on. And I'm going to lie to him and say that we're professionals.
Yep.
This is a professional service that we're doing. And we will handle this with care and respect.
Right, of course.
And get joining. I'm just sitting behind him, and I'm intimidating things.
And I do a light curtsy, being like, in service of the Royal Majesty's Navy, right?
Right.
And
so you're we're gonna save the rest of your friends.
Yeah. Like don't worry, we'll help you, right?
We are professional rescuers.
I don't think you have to roll for that. I think he just he's just like starry-eyed. He's like nodding. He fervently believes every word you're saying.
Good, because my intention also means there's no need for an alarm at any point. I know that was already rolled, but like secured, like no, like wait, we're
from this guy, no, absolutely.
Right?
He starts like he like presses the kiss to your cheek, and then he just like starts like very slowly and cautiously feeling out with his feet to make sure he's not going to step off,
and
making his way towards the coast. And he gets like hit in the back by a wave, and he like goes under, he comes up, and he looks like a drowned rat with his hair all like straggly in his face, and he's like, spitting at water, and it keeps going. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's taken care of.
Good. Okay.
I look a little bit wistful at the fact that I could have taken that guy's breath, but didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to prevent you from doing it inadvertently, anyways.
Fair. Yeah.
Like just because I wanted to save you, right? And so like, I was going to steal you away from it anyways. So
I briefly contemplate pushing him in the water again, just so I can do that. But then I'm just like, no, that's dumb. Why would I do that?
All right, so out on the edge of the boat, what's the plan?
I got a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I, as you know, am the most familiar with ships. I have been on ships like this a million times. I know exactly how to get around. I suggest you use your gun, your pistol, to make noise in a distraction. Shoot over there and everything. Just distract them with noise. Cause them to look away. While I go up on the other side of the ship and through the hatch that he was talking about on the other side.
So the hatch isn't on the side of the ship. Like the hatches are on top of it, right on deck.
Yeah, so we'd have to climb up the deck.
Like there is no ship ever built that has hatches in the side of it. It's terrible.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Shoot and cause distraction while I climb up,
and then
and enter through the hatchet. Cause a distraction.
I don't look super thrilled at this idea, but I'm gonna say why.
I'm gonna put it out there. Like all of you know, there are probably still between 5 and 10 men on that ship.
I'm not sure shooting a pistol is a good idea.
I realize
it would work, right? Like they would be distracted, but they would be distracted.
So
they would
I don't.
Mortem,
Look,
I think Sterren knows because you got some shipping knowledge.
Mirror ships and spawn smugglers.
If you set two with the hatchets. You could maybe stove in a couple of ribs of the ship and cut your own hole.
True. So I cut my own hole in the ship with what? With my pickaxe and stuff.
Yeah, with your little right. You've got wood chopping axes designed for that purpose. If you because a bunch of these ribs aren't anchored at the bottom, so their structural integrity isn't really there. So if you just cut a line across the top, you could shoulder barge them and just knock them in.
Look,
Height of Thunder. Yeah.
I don't. Is this something we regularly do, Luke? Is this something coming across a naval vessel with people still in it? Just seems like this is not a good heist.
This is pretty extreme. This is pretty extreme.
Usually most people are dead, or it's just a couple.
So I want to. I know it's it's a game, but I feel like my characters would be like, we should play this off as an accident. We're just happen to be helping these people at this point because this isn't a good look.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be right in the Navy. This is
And I actually do.
But at the same time, this is a game. Yeah. I don't want to do that, right?
Well, let's. But
also,
two things.
This seems really.
Two things. At both an in fiction and an out of fiction level. Yeah. On an in fiction level, who gives a fuck what's legal or not? Cornwall's relationship to what at that time was the colonizing British. Monarchy was not Cornwall is technically part of Britain, but by no means is it a positive relationship. Cornwall has been independent and had fucking issues with its British rule for centuries at this point, at the modern point.
Right. I'm afraid of retaliation.
Fuck the British Navy and fuck the law. Retaliation is a whole separate story.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's on one level. On the other level, this is a game about one wreck and one night in your lives. If you guys decide that you're gonna try and turn it around and make money in some entirely different way, that is a reasonable thing to do.
Right.
I got an idea with this.
The game does not say that you must salvage the ship and
kill
sell it for money.
Yeah, I don't. It just seemed it would seem like it'd be best to be able to steal things as we were helping people off the ship. Seems
exactly
like things we can pocket.
Because I know my thing, so I could go while we're helping. I could find a golden necklace and secretly stash it away.
I got it. Yeah, that's a really good point.
That's assuming it's not on the person of the person.
No, that's okay. Yeah. I got it. I know we're. I
imagine it's not.
I don't know how to communicate it to everybody at this point. But I will get the soldiers out, and then one of us sneaks back here and steals everything.
Yeah.
AKA,
Like that sounds
would
like
be
that's the obvious thing to do, right? Let's do that.
Yep, totally.
What,
Totally. All right.
I'm down with that.
All right, team. So that's the plan. So
you
who's,
lead them
who's
and I
doing what?
sneak back
Who's going to get onto the ship, and who's going to be the one who's going to try to like convince the soldiers and everyone to come with them?
I mean, I
we'll
have
lead you
well
up to the
legs,
noble.
you know?
We'll lead it up to our friend, right? And like you'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
I have well
I
legs, so
believe-
I think.
And meanwhile, the rest of us pretend to leave, and then we sneak back and
yeah.
rob the place blind.
I suggest I would be the stealing. I'm familiar with ships. I got a good idea of where things are hidden, and beyond that, I am just naturally careful and cautious and a former smuggler. I know how to be stealthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like getting the people to safety is a question of both like convincing them to trust you and also being strong enough to do it. Which like
That's like
between
okay,
the
there's
sisters.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Alright, cool.
sisters would be able to do this.
Okay, so what does this plan look like in action? What is the first move in this chess maneuver?
I think we just.
I
on
feel
the
like
ship,
it's probably
right?
I feel like it's probably like Demelza revealing herself and being like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we'll help you."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually will probably also do a traditional naval greeting. I've been on ships before. I know traditional naval signals and go, "Hey,
Yeah,
we're
totally.
friendly."
Totally. Yeah, and I think
you can-
I think the fact that none of you have to worry about being stealthy, I think you can just like it's a scrambling, loud process. But yeah,
Yeah.
you manage to find like some dangling rope and like haul your way up onto deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, you
then-
see. Yeah, I think the captain and
But-
like
By the way, does the captain have his
7
golden
other
necklace on?
members-
Does the captain got his
you
necklace on?
can't. I mean, he's got right his cute, his very buttoned like naval
Yeah.
collar. You
Button
can't
maybe
see.
color. Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can see the captain and like probably 7 other members of the navy, and they've like managed to. I think they're just hauling out like the last of like the salt pork up out of the hold of the ship, and like, there's just like a pile of it on the deck.
By the way, I asked the captain, "Do you mind if you unbutton that? You should unbutton that. While we're walking through the water, it's possible that I'll shrink and choke
First
you."
thing that we say when we
All
walk
right.
on deck. You should
not the
unbutton your
first thing.
collar.
That sound. I mean, not so fast. That.
And it's not the first thing I say, but it's like probably during the conversation.
Yeah, I think we should probably introduce ourselves first, and then
Yeah.
we can get to that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so
so
the captain, he doesn't waste any time. He turns around, he sees you, he's like, "What do you want?"
we're here to help, brave captain. We are a group of common Cornish folk here to help you in your time of need.
There's a noble
looks-
nobleman is up that way. We can lead you across the sandbank to safety.
Yeah, and I think he looks suspicious for like a moment, and then we hear another like much louder like whining as the wind like pulls, and we watch the mast like tip slightly, and the ship like
Yeah.
shifts in the sand, and there's like a groaning noise as
Yeah.
the wood like threatens to give way,
Yeah.
and his face is like, "Yeah, I'm enthusiastically on board with the idea of leaving,"
Yeah.
but he still looks a little bit suspicious about you lot. let's-
Peter,
so-
that's
I think Demelza, let's talk.
Convince them.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk. What do you want?
Let's do it. I want these brave sailors to be completely enamored with me, and like see me as this like heroine figure that's going to like lead them to safety, right?
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Cool. If you fail,
because they want to get off the ship. They would not get off the ship. That's I'm trying to work it out.
I think. Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, totally. If you fail, then during the process, during that like slow guiding them across the beach process, the year and a day will officially be up, and the glamour will fade, unless you do something to reinforce it.
Of course. That's the
Agreed.
failure condition.
That's your failure condition. Is you'll still get them out. That'll be fine, but you'll lose the accord will lapse.
And at that point, like it will be gone, right? Like I can't just like suck someone's breath and then it will come back.
At that point, you'll have to make a new deal.
Yeah, sure.
Look, the merfolk are always very happy for people to come
Right, of course.
visiting
Yeah.
and negotiate.
Okay, I'm done with it.
Cool.
do it.
So, Start with 1 die. Do you have skill or virtue? I think you do. You're well liked.
Yep.
Is a good contact involved? I don't think so.
We mentioned the nobles, which
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll bring
give
up
you
his
that.
name,
That's
right?
+1 die.
I'll be like,
That's
I'm
+1
here
die.
on the right. I'm here at the request.
Speak to so and so. They know they'll vouch for us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. All right, +1 die.
I'm here on the
Nice.
request of
Knack
Howell
report.
Merrick. So that's 3, and then
3.
the accord, right? Yeah, because beauty.
Yep. So that's 4 dice.
Yes.
If somehow
That's what
fail
I'm
this,
built
I'll
to
be
do.
impressed.
If you fail, I'm gonna laugh. So.
I'll still be impressed. You
Oh,
succeeded.
all right.
All right,
Got
nicely
close.
done. Yeah, so like, I think the captain at this point like wipes some water out of his eyes and kind of like gets his first proper sight of Demelza and like kind of like stops talking. Like he's in the middle of a sentence and he just loses his train of thought entirely. And then he like shakes his head and he's like, yes. We've heard of Howell Merrick. Yes, we were meant to dock down the coast and report to his estate with messages. Yes. Take us to this man. Yeah, and I think all of the sailors like gather around. He's like, men, leave that behind, and they like I think they like loosely lash the gear, the goods in place on the deck, and then just like follow you like a bunch of ducklings. Over to the side of the boat.
This way.
I stay in the behind.
Yep.
I stay in the back, of course.
Yeah, and they don't even notice. They don't even notice because the only thing they're paying attention to is Demelza.
Okay.
Demelza, are you now responsible for the question of whether we all make it to shore safety, or is that more of a Lowena problem?
I think that'll be. I don't
more
know what it does in this situation. So yeah.
Yeah, Eric, what do you do?
That makes sense.
So like,
no.
they've all followed your beautiful sister, and they're all like gawping like a bunch of addle-pated, love-blind twits over to the edge of the ship, and like dropping down into the water, and like 3 of them are like fighting over who's gonna get to help her down the side of the ship.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome.
What do you do?
Perfect.
I'm used to seeing men fight over my sister.
Yep.
So
Very
I
true.
am. I'm definitely going to be. You know what? I'm gonna put her on the spot. Maybe she thinks I'm supposed to do it, but I'm not going to do anything until she says something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna be like,
Demelza.
right?
Right, so I get all the way down, right, and all the the naval officers and whatnot are like,
And then they're all looking at you.
right, they're like below off the ship now, but we have to like make it through the sand and all that and like the heavy water.
Yeah.
And I just like look around and I'm like, now Lowena, and I like
And she's some in the back, I imagine.
At
did
this
you
point,
follow or are you on the ship still?
no, I think I'm on the ship because I think I want to
Yeah.
fucking rob stuff.
Yep. Yeah, and I call
Right?
up and I'm like,
ready to.
Lowena!
yeah. I don't answer.
Okay, so Lowena, from up here on top of the ship, you can see, because this is the first time you'll have gotten any real sense of elevation, right? Like,
Yeah.
you'll had like a distant view from the cliffside, but that didn't really count. And so from up here, I think you can see like just how strong the currents are. Like the ship is now at an angle. Like even though it's like the ribs are dug into the sand, it is like solidly planted where it is, like halfway to
It's
shore.
the force of the.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is like tilted on a slight angle back out towards the rocks and the reef, because that is where the current is tugging. And you realize, and I think particularly because you've been like doing this like night in, night out while these others have been like fucking running around doing their own shit. You know that like the arrangement of the sand shifts in weather like this.
Right.
Like the high paths like wear away with the current and like shift.
Right.
And that is like a problem that you know about.
Then
What do you do with that knowledge?
Then if it's just me kind of left, I'm gonna get off the ship.
I'm still on the ship.
As you and
Oh,
Sarah
then
are both
then I find Saren and I'm like, we need to go. This is not good. Like I have a bad feeling about this, and so like I was like, Staren, I have a bad feeling. We need to this is a wash, right? Forget it. Well, we'll help these. What do we? I mean, would we call them blood coat? Like I don't know what we would call
red coats.
Red coats. So just call them like I'm not sure if there was like a Cornish derogatory term for naval,
probably.
right? But like yeah, like listen, we'll help these fools.
We'll help these land lovers.
Yeah, no, we're the land lovers in this scenario. But listen, we'll help these fools. This is a wash. We should get out of here. This is dangerous. As like
Question.
Yeah.
I just actually
Yes.
would like to know, because I'm familiar with ships, how actually safe is the ship? Like, how long do I think it would last?
Yeah,
The ship isn't so bad.
I secretly
like-
want you to prove me wrong.
It'll keep
Yeah,
tipping.
I will.
Right, like it'll keep like it's currently like every couple of minutes it's like tipping a little more, but like you've got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like no worries. The question is the like safe raised sand paths that go back to the shore are being tugged away by the current with every minute that passes.
Right.
That's more the question.
Yeah.
Than the ship itself.
And I think that's maybe what we say, right?
Though, like-
you're
though,
like,
like-
the ship's
though,
gonna be
like-
fine, and I'm like, it's not the ship, you fool. It's our way home.
I
But
realize.
then, like, you could conceivably, if you could find a safe place on the ship to take shelter, like, you could just wait it out until the storm passes and then just, like, walk back to shore, and that'd probably be okay.
Yeah, I mentioned her. If it gets that bad, I'll find a safe spot. There are some safe spots on the ship, and I simply actually start pushing her along. I'll find valuables. Do not worry, and go and help our sister get those soldiers across. We might get you bloody buffoon. And and this starts getting a bit coarse. I'm getting very sick and tired. I'm a middle child. I'm not the youngest.
Yeah, but I've always had to look after you. So
And he said stuff like this.
have you ever? Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no. I definitely say something being like, you haven't lost me in 10 years. You know, trying to get away from me when I'm like watching you. So no. It's like of course I'll stay here, but.
Well, they'll get suspicious if they see more than two of us. Go back.
All right, so this argument is raging up on the decks of the ship. Cut back and down below. Demelza. They're all looking at you very expectantly. What are you doing?
I just start trudging through the water, I
Right.
guess.
All right, cool. Sounds like too late. Demelza's leading him. Demelza, not so fast. What do you want if you win?
I want to, by complete accident,
Okay.
make our way back to the. So I tell the sailors, like, follow my footsteps exactly, and I just rely on my luck to the same way I got in that I get out.
Yep.
Lead everybody safely
Okay.
to shore.
I think if you fail,
Maybe the same Murphy that came earlier takes his glamour away or something. Like,
I think if you fail, I think a couple of the sailors get snatched on the way.
Mm-hmm.
They get the merfolk pull them under, and
Okay
like
with
the
that.
rest of the sailors like insist on stopping and trying to rescue their friends.
Okay.
They're not just like,
Yeah,
oh, we can't bear lessons. It's like their friends go like and
Yeah.
pop underwater, and they're like, oh my god, and they dive in to save them, and it just turns to a mess.
All right, we can deal with that problem when we come to it. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right. So let's work it out. Start with one die.
born lucky.
That's
Born
all
lucky?
you get.
Yeah, I am born lucky. I think that's more or less the.
May I've got a second sight.
Well,
I mean, you don't get more than one from skills. And
Well,
virtues.
so maybe the youth thing, like the strength of getting through trudging through the water and like.
I
don't think that has anything to do with it.
I think like if it were just you, I'd give it to you again.
Yeah,
But like,
makes sense.
what's at stake
You're
here is
leading.
more like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
capacity to follow these sailors in your
Gotcha.
footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just two. Give me the. Actually,
Oh no!
it's just one.
I'm gonna
It's
lose it.
just one because there's something ghostly about and it's working against you.
Gotcha.
Because the mermaids don't want you all to make it to shore.
All right.
Or at least they don't want them to. You're fine.
This is it, folks. It's all gonna go downhill.
Our luck is running out. So you.
Nope. That's a no.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I think you guys like halfway like halfway like between the ship and the shore. Like the water is up to like just above waist deep, and then this like massive wave comes in from behind, like huge, like a person's head height and then a little bit taller, and it like swamps over and like goes, carries on past you all to like smash into the cliff and the bay, and like everyone manages to keep their footing, except that like when you clear your eyes of the salt water through the sting, you can see that like 3 of the sailors are missing. And the remaining 5 of them, like, immediately, like, turn and start, like, looking around and, like, stop moving towards the shore and start instead, like, desperately trying to, like, it's like, John! And, like, like, plunging their arms down in the water and, like, trying to find where they've gone. And then I think another one of them just, like, whoosh, slips underwater and lets out this, like, startled scream as he, like, goes under. Yeah. Oh, and then one more thing. And you see, I don't think anyone else sees it yet, but you see a little way out, like a dark bloom of red in the water. There's like a flash of lightning overhead, and you just see this like spreading red patch.
Awesome.
Cut back to the boat. On top of the boat.
So I'll be the one leaving the boat and seeing this going out, and I'm like,
so we cut back to like you leaning over the edge of the boat, seeing all of this happening.
Right.
And me going, go help her. I'm heading off
and seeing something else.
So the first thing I see, okay. Do I see my sister? Okay.
Your sister is fine. Your sister is fine. You can see like a couple of the soldiers going underwater. I think you from like a height, you can see like these like pale shapes moving under the water, like around.
Tell them to get out of the water.
Also see a dark shape in the water. It's coming from like the other side of the beach, like completely elsewhere. It is like, and it's swimming through the waves. And you see, I think again, like in that same flash of lightning, you see the lightning reflect off like a blade, like clenched between someone's teeth. It's Treve.
Right.
It's Treve Trinaran. Up to his old bullshit. What do you do?
And they're swimming?
Yeah, he's swimming through the waves over towards you.
Oh, towards us.
Yeah, towards the boat. The ship.
Oh no. I have to go, but I have to go warn my brother.
I mean, you can call a warning. Like that's
I can. I probably can hear. Yeah. It's not like I'm too far away.
It's not the world's biggest ship. Like
it's a 2-spoon. Like at the most, it can hold like 30.
Right.
It's meant to hold like 20.
You're within yelling range of each other.
Good. Well, I don't want to yell this out, right?
I mean, Treve won't be able to hear you. Like he is still some ways across the water.
Well, I'm afraid about can the redcoats hear us?
You reckon they're probably far enough you'd be safe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I call her. I crawl out. Treve's coming, right?
Yep.
Down below.
I scroll my forehead and go.
I say, do you still have Dad's knife?
You mean this? I take out a little cutting knife.
All right.
You're not talking about my actual blade that my uncle gave me. It's standing in the side of the ship.
So does the side of the ship.
I'll probably get, as I said, it's a valuable, in my opinion, I love this sword so much that in the morning I will be cutting it out. Like I'll be getting
totally.
proper good.
I'm totally expecting that, but like for the purposes of the moment, it is like it's not a useful object.
Okay.
No.
It's a decoration in a ship.
Very odd one at that.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna make it back to shore, and I'm gonna say, don't dally. It's going, and I'm gonna give you a really strong caution. Like, don't dally, brother. Like, you're right. Like this. Remember, like this is also sort of like you. The reason why I'm doing this is also because you succeeded on the roll getting over here, right? And so like you proved to me that you can handle yourself and you're smart, right? And so I'm like, as I leave, I tell you, say, prove to me you're smart, brother. And as I get ready, and I was like, good luck.
And you jump over the side of the ship, and you like plunge into the water.
Yeah, and I get ready to go back, and I got my bead out in case you say not so fast, because I want to get back to shore safely.
No, I think I'm happy to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the path.
I think like you're in the lee of the currents. You know the path.
Right.
The mermaids are not. The merfolk are not interested in you right now. They have another thing. So I think
for what it's worth, Starin, you could have convinced me to stay. I should have offered that to you, but
I don't want to. I want you to go.
Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. As
Yeah,
long as
so-
you're cool
yeah,
with
so-
that, though. But I feel like that's
Yeah,
what
I
the
want you to
fiction
help.
demanded, and I just wanted to make sure that's cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yep.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
So I
Awesome.
think we follow like the camera follows Luena as she like half wades, half swims her way like over.
Backstory, yeah.
I'm imagining like another one of the sand paths, like not the same one the sailors have all taken, and we like pan from her back over the next one where we see Demelza and like two of the sailors and the frightened captain are like clustered around you on the same little patch of sand, and another like massive wave like smashes in and like knocks into them, and like they all like feel the impact, and it's weirdly gentle. It's like it has no interest in hurting you, and then it washes past and there's only two sailors, the captain and another one, and I think he like turns and looks at you and he's like, "Witch, what are you doing to my men?"
Gosh.
What do you do?
So for the purposes of this accord, does the person have to be drowning when I take their last breath?
Yep.
Or can they have to be drowning?
Or can they just be dying? I mean,
Yeah,
look,
can they just be dying?
I'm if they're in the water, look, if they're drowning on their own blood, that counts.
Okay, all right. I take my pistol out and I shoot the captain in the chest.
Oh,
Holy
nice. Okay, cool.
No.
Yeah, so you do that. I'm not gonna make you roll. Yeah, you pull out a pistol, you unload the barrel into the captain's chest. It like there's this like blinding like flash. There's this loud roar. His chest just like it explodes. There's like a spray of like blood and viscera out the back. He like looks completely like astonished and flabbergasted, and like drops down to his knees, and like like only his like face is above the water, and you can see like more red blood like staining the water, and he's just like gaping and like making words, but you can't hear them, and he can't make any sound. He's like coughing up blood. And that's when the other sailor turns and like grabs you and starts like by the hair and just like starts like trying to punch you in the face. Like he doesn't even think to go for his weapon. He's just so shocked. He just like grabs you and he's like starts punching you in the face.
So
And he's
I
just
think
witch.
I think what I do before he starts punching, I like look him in the eyes and I say, "Oh, did I do that?" And and then I want to like pretend like I'm shaking off some like thing, some curse, and like throw the pistol away and be like, "I'm so sorry. No, they're coming for me too."
Not so fast.
Yeah, that's extreme.
I don't know. I think you should let that slide. I don't know.
That's
No.
bullshit right there.
That's colossal bullshit.
I mean, I believe it. I don't know. I don't know.
That is some great
Okay.
I just didn't know.
bullshit. This is
Caleb,
great
that's-
horse shit right there.
Amazing. Absolutely, though. You're totally gonna roll for it, but that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you start with one die for bravery and desperation.
Yep. I think that's some desperation right
Okay,
there.
so if you fail, he doesn't believe you and he remembers that he has a sword.
Awesome.
So you start with one die, +1 if your life is on the line.
So obviously my success here is that he believes me and
Yeah, and he just like does he stops acting, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just like, oh my god, and then both of you are freaking out together. You've got a skill of virtue.
yeah, I'm well liked.
Yeah, or born
I-
lucky. I think they both.
And
they
born
both
lucky.
apply.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So +1
It's like it's
die.
a block.
Contacts aren't involved, and do you have an accord? I think you
So,
do.
yeah.
4 dice.
I'm a beautiful, youthful maiden. Like
Oh,
I wouldn't possibly do something like this.
let's cross our fingers.
So 3,
4,
4, awesome.
because your life is on the line.
Oh right,
'Cause,
right.
Like he's
I mean,
like
sword,
right now he's about to start punching you. If you fail, he is going to draw his sword, and
definitely-
instead of punching, he's going to be
Yeah.
stabbing.
Well, this is when I roll 4 dice and fail. Okay, awesome.
No, it is not. It's when you get a fucking crit because it's
Awesome.
blades, clear 1 stress. Yeah, he totally falls for it. He just like you toss the pistol away, and his eyes track to follow it, and he like turns to look back at you, and he just has this like horrified look of solidarity in his eyes.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh my god, you're just as like this has been the most awful night. Like this guy
We're
has
all
a wife.
screwed, yeah.
He's got 2 young kids. he has like I think like an ill father who like depends on the money his naval career brings in for medicine. Like he doesn't
this, like sepia toned like just series of like events of this guy's life.
He doesn't want to die like this, and he just like you guys share this moment, and then he's snatched away underwater, and you see the sailor, the mermaid boy, like grab him underwater and like force them and like look him in the eyes, and he just like goes them to stop struggling and leans in, and they kiss, and you can just see like him starting to go like pale and blue as like his breath is just stolen away from him. And yet the captain is just still like kneeling there, like coughing out his life's blood, dying. What do you do?
So
I think it's obvious.
So there are tears streaming down my cheek as I do this. I like
crocodile tears.
We're distraught about this, but I just like go up to the captain, grab him by like his collar, and just like pull him in and like kiss him and take his last.
Yeah, and I think you like take his life's last breath. Lowena, are you aware of your sister's accord?
No, not at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so you see this, right? Like as you like come onto the shore, you realize your sister is not there. You turn and you see her like kissing this dying sailor, this dying captain, and you see like the life and the glow and the vibrancy going out of him and like passing into her. Can you give us like imagine like the one beat of reaction shot we get of you? What does it look like? And then we hard
utter
cut
shock.
Back to the
yeah. Well, it's obviously
just
an utter shock of like
just
what?
Like totally devastated, and then bam,
right?
we cut back to the ship.
Yeah.
Cool.
Starren, you're on the ship. What's up?
Well,
yeah, a wave hits it, and you feel it like and shudder and lurch slightly. What's up?
I actually take up a single moment, not too long. I guess that's a moment to close my eyes and breathe. I am on the ship. This is my territory.
Yeah,
and
just steady yourself.
Yeah, and immediately my first reaction is, my first reaction is, where are the valuables? And I immediately start trying to find basically secret compartments. Not maybe the necklace if he hasn't whatsoever, but if he does have a relationship with her, more than likely there are letters that are hidden. Letters that I could use as blackmail against this so-called lady. If I gave it to the local noble.
I think what we get is like you close your eyes and you take like a deep breath, and we hear the soundscape shift, and like the high like screaming keening sound of the wind ripping through the shattered tails like shifts into like the billowing sound of like flapping full sails, and like the sound of the sea like surging and roaring like fades into just like the sound of like, you know, like the sea in motion as we sail across, and like the soundscape is just like everything is fine. This boat is sailing along. Everything is good.
Yeah.
And then not so fucking fast. No, you want to find some valuables. You gotta fucking work for that shit. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I want to find any particular valuables that the captain has about his relationship, and not just but just any valuable and secret information he has hidden away in the ship.
Just that? Nothing else?
I guess I would also want to know. Basically, I want to know most of the secret compartments of the ship, like where medicine would possibly be stored, as well as any particular smuggling goods, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
Necklace. Go for the necklace.
Cool.
And I said that as well. I mentioned that as well. Like,
I know,
that's
but
the captain.
Especially the necklace. Be like,
under
no circumstances am I leaving this place without the necklace.
By the way, take a look on the captain to see if he's wearing it. Like he's dead now, so take a look.
Cool. All right, and then what happens if you fail?
I spend maybe slightly too long on the ship.
I think if you fail, then as you are opening the compartment with whatever the most valuable thing is, like you hear like the creaking of the ship boards behind you, because Treve is like behind you.
Yeah.
As you find it. That's what's gonna happen if you fail. Like you find it right in the moment that Treve finds you, and he's like armed and like ready to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Cool. So you start with 1 die for bravery and desperation.
Yeah.
Your life is not immediately on the line.
Yep.
Do you have a skill or a virtue?
Yes. I know ships, for one. I'm a small smuggler. I'm cautious and careful. All three of those would work here.
Totally, yeah. Two dice for sure. And ill contact is in your way, so I'm going to take 1 dice away.
Yep, so one.
Because you are racing against Treve. But your knack will help you.
Yep, 2.
2 dice.
Yep.
Let's see what we got.
Please. Yes.
All right. So
5.
yeah. So I think like you immediately like.
Good job.
Yeah. You just like.
My
you just
sense
have,
activates.
you have this strange feeling. You have this really strange feeling that the captain's cabin is the first place to look. You get a really strong feeling.
Yeah, of course.
So you go to the captain's cabin, and then you just like you're standing in the captain's cabin, you're looking around, you're like, you have this really strong feeling that like over at his desk, there's like a copy of the Bible. You got a really strange feeling that just the Bible is a good place to look right now. And you open up the Bible, and lo and behold, inside like the pages, it's
The compartment inside the cutout of the Bible.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think. What time is it?
Scandalous.
Yeah, okay. So he's a Protestant. He's like Anglican. He's Church of England, and I think this is. It's the King James Bible, and I think you find something else somewhere in here that indicates that he is actually Catholic. Right, like England right now is Protestant. Catholicism is still illegal. It was made legal again in 1791.
Like 1791, yeah, this is
So in fact, I think it is. You open a copy of like the Anglican Bible. Inside it is a hidden King James Bible in a little cutout compartment, and under it is the necklace.
Perfect.
Yeah, so there's
perfect blackmail material.
Yeah, so you find a necklace. You find the Bible. You don't find any letters. Like it doesn't look like there's any like traceable parts of their correspondence. Just like valuables. Yeah. And then like you're turning to go, and then you have this really strange feeling, and you just go back, and for whatever reason you just like you lift up his blanket, and his berth again has had like a little hole cut into it, and in it is like a fairly large bottle of just like really, really fine brandy.
Yes.
Very well.
Yep. And so you snaffle up the stuff, you make it back up onto the deck of the ship, and you like slip over into the water. And like just as you like splash into the water, you land, and then right as you do, the wind like dies down for a moment, and you hear the sound of the splashing of another body leaving the water.
Yeah.
As Treve makes it up onto the other side of the ship.
Have fun with your salted pork, you jerk.
Yeah, unknowing that all of the best shit has already been taken.
And I'm actually just walking across. I am being careful across.
Totally, yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna make you roll, right? Like, I think the merfolk have been pacified, and I think, Staren, you're just like making your way back over. You can like faintly see on the shoreline your sisters like
probably discussing whatever happened.
Yeah, they're having a conversation or something, but you're just like making your way up to the beach. Smash cut to Lowena and Demelza. What's up? What's up, guys? What's going on?
Sure anymore.
I'm on the. So, what about our arrival? I'm probably, I was wondering. I'm wondering. So right now, I probably we see our brother coming back, right? So my question is whether or not if we see this rival or not.
You might see him on the ship.
Like, for all intents and purposes, my brother's safe too.
Yeah, you can see your brother coming towards you, and you see Treve like moving like low and careful, just like crawl up the far side, like come up over the far side of the ship, and just immediately duck down into the hold.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fine with me because my family is safe, and as far as I'm concerned, this ship doesn't have anything of like super good value, right?
Yeah. So there's no like epic emotional confrontation over like the Demelza.
Yeah.
And her nonsense?
You just saw me.
Well, I think right now the most important thing is safety, and I say like,
we'll have it out.
Yeah, exactly. I just very coldly say we're going to talk about this later, as we
And I say, talk about what?
Yeah.
I just give you eyes like daggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think like this is probably where we fade out, is we just get like. We go from here to like a montage of you guys like climbing back up the path as like the storm like slowly begins to like the worst of it is past. It slowly starts to quieten down, and like it's now, instead of just like your clothes being like tugged at, they're just like flapping like loudly in the breeze.
Oh, yeah.
As you like make your way back up the path, and like the door, you like rap hard and loud on the door of the little cottage, and it's like heaved open by, what was the name of yours youngest brother, who's the name of that that young sailor you'll let go?
We never named him, I think.
Yeah. All right. So your youngest brother,
Broderick?
I'll just Brannock.
Broderick, if he's English.
So the sailor has a name. So your youngest brother is called I think he's called Brannock.
Brannock, yeah,
So
Brannock,
Brannock, who's just
Brannock.
the same age as that young sailor, or maybe a little bit younger. Yeah, he heaves the door open, and again, as soon as it passes the 90-degree mark, it bang, because the wind smashes into it. And then the three of you go inside the cottage, and then the door is heaved closed. And I think the door is heaved closed on the end of this story, and I think that's where we leave it.
And that's a good place to end the
opening
episode.
On a lingering shot,
awesome TV show.
A lingering shot of Michael, the terrified young sailor, tucked away into the huddle of a tree, a bunch of trees or something, finding the best shelter he can, wide-eyed staring at the cottage where you all have just disappeared into.
Oh,
yeah. In case you're wondering, I probably sense and saw, whatever, and I probably do now know about your chord, so I probably actually don't give a shit. I'm just mentioning that. It's my character actually would be oh well, I used to kill a lot, so I don't care.
That's fair. But yeah, thank you all for playing my game with me, and
that was super dope.
For doing
Thank you.
Yeah,
what the
thank you,
heck?
man.
This was
That was so
amazing.
good.
This is amazing, and this has given me the perfect rule set for a system I'm currently working on, so I'm very happy with this.
Yeah.
Shipwrecks. They're awesome, actually.
I mean,
not for the people who get
this
shipwrecked.
this has the same things. It's a one-page game, so I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But obviously, this dovetails nicely into your own GM style already, Luke. The pacing was very good, I thought. In terms of the action and everything seems pretty good. If I had one comment about it is it felt like there should I because of the context, we don't really exactly know how to get down to a ship or what the process is. If there was some kind of standard thing,
Step
listen,
one,
here's what you
step
do. When
two.
you get there, this is what you should look out for. This is what you need to do, and very easy things. Is also then it makes it easy because it makes your failure consequences pretty easy to understand too. Knowing onerous. Only because I felt like I was a little bit lost, and I was I felt like I was supposed to be someone who's really experienced at this, and but I wasn't exactly sure a couple times of what to be doing or what to be looking out for. The question about the mast and is that gonna that kind of stuff, right? So something about that. Only because then I feel like we could even speed up the game even faster because we know what's going on, and then we could totally see the other side of the game in 3 hours, right?
Yeah,
that's the number one thing, right?
Definitely.
But this was a fucking amazing pilot episode of a TV show,
really good.
right?
Yeah.
I want to be very, very, very clear. This is super good, and we get super excited. All of the setup is perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really, really spot on.
I really enjoyed this, as you probably can tell. I do have one semi-suggestion outside of Eric's one, which is also quite good.
Yep.
I would suggest that if someone has three traits that would go along, you are legitimately have 3 perfect traits, give them an extra die for that. It's to me, it's my character is legitimately built for stealth and everything, but I still only get 1 die for stealth checking because all that's in the trait section. I feel like if that's the case, give them an extra die if he has all 3. Make it more
I think the big change I'm gonna make is I don't know exactly what it's gonna look like, but I may change it and introduce a compromise win-loss condition, and then as a result allow more dice. Because at that point,
what if you could so to build on that, right, adding more in dice, what about setting the negotiation in a way that's a little bit more like Polaris of okay, but only if then this happens, and pivoting. Have you tried that?
The main thing, right, is that there's not a lot of spare space in this game, right? I'm right at the limits of April page right now.
I know that's completely true. It always seems much more. I don't know. I guess maybe what I'm getting to is circumspect, actually, because the big thing, my problem is that I kept trying to negotiate on your behalf instead of my own. So I'm no, look at this amazing failure. And it's just wait, that's not my job. But also that's just because I am a GM
Yeah.
most of the time, so that's where my head's at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my bad. But
Yeah, I mean,
I know,
part of it is just like
that's my bad as a
part-
player. I wasn't sticking to the.
Yeah, part of it was also my bad, right? Because like it's like the procedure we is fairly clear. It's like ask them what they want, ask or tell them what will happen if they fail, and then like clarify and get everyone's agreement. There isn't actually a negotiation phase, and so like I probably should like make that clearer.
Yeah.
Yes,
I actually just thought of two more things. That might be a bit complicated for this one page thing, but it's just something I thought. One of them was, I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, if something is like extremely unlikely, maybe make it harder. I don't know exactly how you would do that or something, but I guess the big thing that came to my mind is Denzel's Holy Mary at the end with him convincing the sailor that it was all glamour, like she was under some control. That was a Holy Mary, and as such, I felt like maybe you should make that a slightly harder, even though that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, I realized as we were playing there is actually a missing question in the engagement roll procedure, which is the item bit where it's like, do you have a useful item? Because
That was the only thing that I was going to bring up. Yeah, it's like, do you have a useful item?
It was totally meant to be there. I clearly just forgot, right? I clearly just forgot. And so I think what it'll be is like, do you have a useful item? And like, is the situation just like totally fucking awful?
Yeah.
Like, I think the complimentary question will be like, is this just completely implausible? And that'll cover this should be just really difficult.
Yeah.
Right.
And I guess the other one is, if you have a quirk or whatever that is super relevant to whatever you're doing, maybe add an extra die to that. For example, when I was searching for hidden item, my quirk, my ability to find hidden stuff, that was like an exact counter to me, what I was trying to do. So maybe, I don't know.
I feel like the room there is that it gives you fictional position to ask for more.
Yeah.
Like if you said to me like, I want to find everything hidden and valuable on the ship, like without that, I would have been like,
maybe.
Not gonna happen.
So it's okay. So it is just like, because it is, I could do a really, it makes sense that most people would be desperate for others, not so desperate. Yeah.
This makes me think that somehow the negotiation is tied into your dice. Like, you can how you pivot on what's happening is based on your fate. Like, so exactly what you guys were just talking about, how there might be a time where a single trait or virtue is extremely relevant, especially, and you call that out really well, whether in case there's a point where there's a -1 die, right? Like, and that penalty is it's not so much that it will give you an extra die. It's that, oh, here's your die. It would have been really bad if you didn't have it. Is sort of like how you already expressed it, which I think is super good. So like I think though, having that extra ability to call on a skill or whatever like that lets you negotiate the fictional consequences by what's going on fictionally, being like, so something like when I'm good with my hands with this problem, right, I call out why being good with my hands and what that looks like fictionally, and then as I do that, I'm able to then negotiate again kind of maybe what the terms are by like using that trait. I say these things and then it gets me, I don't know, forget it. I'm tired.
I feel like it wants to be
it's
like
good the way it is.
I feel like it wants to be negotiation first and then the questions, because the ideal version of the procedure, and I think this would be like an ease of play thing, is like you, and we basically did see this, like I was never like, do you have a useful skill or trait? And you were like, I mean, maybe let me look at what they, like there was never like a humming and hawing, like I don't know phase. Like I feel like you always will know in advance, which means that you'll have that courage to be like, no, I want a really good thing because I'm fucking good with my hands. Or
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I think make states negotiation clearer, add a question, re-gear, and difficulty, and then like basic shipwrecking procedure. Is that what you're saying, Eric?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. What does the average shipwreck look like?
I mean, you know how much I love blades, but like basically like kind of a list of approaches.
Yeah, I feel like it's maybe.
It's probably not necessary.
I feel like it's more weight than the game can handle.
That's good.
But like we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. That was a really fun time.
Yeah.
That was super good.
Thank you guys for playing my dumb game with me.
Don't call it dumb. I can hear you. This game was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Thank you.
I'm real hyped to playtest it again. I really want to get an uncrewed Hulk next time and put some spoopy shit on the boat. That sounds like fun.
Uncrewed Hulk. Ooh.
I'll gladly do this again. This was extremely fun, and I enjoyed my character as a sort of middle one who doesn't want to get involved in the bullshit, but it's probably the darkest of them all. Just because I'll put it bluntly, I was going to ask the one with the pistol to shoot the drowning kid because I was like, we need to keep people quiet of us. I was legitimately just going to kill him now. I legitimately was going to suggest.
To be fair, the only reason I tried to save him was that I was going to kill him by taking his last breath.
Yep.
Didn't work out. So
true.
All I'm saying
Like,
is that
they're gonna die.
If we play again, I am adding him as a bad contact.
Yeah, totally.
Because
The ghost?
The boy.
Michael
Boy.
yeah.
Let me tell you, Sailor Boy, he totally saw you fuck up the captain from the shore where you
Oh,
sent him
yeah,
to
of course.
Yeah, I realized.
Of course.
And he saw me with the
No, we
golden
have-
necklace, the bottle of
Yeah,
wine.
right? He fucking knows some shit. He's an ill contact now.
Look,
I need to binge watch
this-
the entire
this-
season of the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this, there's plenty of plots for this show to continue on to like interweave now based on what you set up, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was my goal. Is I was like, I want it to be a one-shot game that you can do in 3 hours, but that has all the tools you will need to hack together your own campaign of it if you want to keep going.
Yeah, that's
and like maybe then you have to start inventing shit. I'm like, cool, okay, go invent with my blessing. You can do it. I believe in you.
Right.
I was just saying, I was immediately thinking of a sequel where you're playing the smugglers fencing the stuff, like, you know.
Yeah, totally. Or like
have a series of interconnected games all around this whole procedure.
I mean, if we'd had time, I would totally have like I think there would have been a lot more emphasis on the smuggling half of it. Like part of it is just like time management and like how much shit. Like if we picked like I don't know, like one of the other options instead, or I'd been like, hey, let's focus on the wizard rather than the mermaids. It might have been like a smuggling heavy half of the game, and it would focus more on the back half. I think there's space for it to move.
Yeah. No, this was super good.
The next one-page RPG coming from me that I'm trying to figure out is a game that is a micro hack of Dogs in the Vineyard in the same way that this is of Blades, where you play like exorcists in like feudal Japan, traveling from village to village, like clearing spiritual pollution and dealing with like ghosts.
I'm so on.
You know what good games are. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I just really want games like I'm just like, you know what needs to exist? I really want to play a game about this thing. I'm just gonna fucking write it. Fuck it. Fuck the world.
Yeah.
I will make it exist.
Make it.
Yeah.
So speaking of all these games and where they exist, Luke, where can people find you?
Wow. Thank you. That was a beautiful segue. I am Luke. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/wildwoodsgames. You can find my Patreon at patreon.com/gamesfromthewildwood, where I normally try to anyway when I remember. I'm not as organized about it as I should be, but release games like this for like early access playtesting, like a little while before they come out. And then you can buy my games at gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io, where all of my games currently are seafaring related. This game is yeah, I know, right? This game is probably the next game that will go up there. Probably within a week. Like I'm pretty fucking. I feel like this was a successful playtest. I'm pretty happy with this game. I'm just gonna like make a couple of changes and call it done. So within a week, look out. You should be able to buy this there. Watch out, I'll announce on my Twitter or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's me.
Sweet.
I'm Luke. I've been Luke.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing my game.
No, thank you. Thank you for doing this. I know I had a super good time. Caleb, what about you?
I also had a fantastic time. You can find me on Twitter at Caleb M. Powers, where I rant about role-playing games and writing and other things that I'm interested in. I stream role-playing game stuff on twitch.tv/Caleb Powers. We are going through a game of Burning Wheel right now with Desert Intrigue. It's a good time on Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So thank you very much for hosting, Eric, and Luke for the awesome game. That was fantastic. I had a great time.
Thank you. Last but certainly not least, Ryan.
I am Ryan, and my Twitter account is Ryan.Towers. If you want Ryan Towers, if you want to find it, it's not that important. I don't usually do any stuff on it. I usually just use it to keep up with stuff. If you want to find me on Discord, I'm at Mortem, if I have a number correctly, 3926. If I'm actually right with that, I'll be shocked, but I'll be amazed. But there's something big with me. I'm currently working on some RPGs, but I have no idea if I'll ever release them, and if I do, when.
Hey, just keep working on them. They'll get through.
Yeah,
that's what I tell myself. So
yeah,
cool. Yeah, and I'm Eric. This has been Once Upon a Game, where we played Shipwreckers. Yeah, you find me at Eric Vulgaris on everything. I also like to talk about role-playing games, especially things with hot circles. So
All the hot circle.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you so much. That's it for us today. I think I'm gonna throw a host over to Caitlin. Go say hi to her. But otherwise, we're out of here tonight. So thank you so much. See you, everybody.
very well. Well.